What in the entire hell is going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again. And I was thinking, what do we do about the homeless? We know we have them. We know where they are. What do we do about them? Yesterday, I was driving home and I decided to go by this area that's known to have a bunch of homeless. And you turn down the street and you can see the tents along the street. I mean, it must be hundreds of them. It's little tents, made with tarps and all kinds of stuff. It's dirty. It smells like piss and ammonia down there. There's drugs, violence. My wife and my daughter, if they go somewhere and they see something, like the Dollar Tree or something, they'll grab it. Shaving cream, razors. When my daughter goes to the dentist, they give you the little gift bags with the dental floss and the little tiny mouthwash and toothpaste, the toothbrushes and shit. And so my daughter will save them. And they'll get stuff together, wet ones, wet wipes, and stuff like that, little care packages. My daughter calls them homeless bags. So they'll get stuff like that together, and my wife will keep them in the car. When they see somebody they feel they want to give it to, they'll pull over, roll down the window. My wife will hand it to him and stuff like that. One time, a dude didn't say thank you. My daughter was like, why didn't he say thank you? That man needs to say thank you. And she's right. You should say thank you, fool. But my point is, there's people out there that want to help the homeless. And my wife said one time she went down there and she saw kids. There's kids down there, homeless. Now, I'm not saying that all the responsibility is on us as a society, but some of it is. Some of it lies on the homeless people themselves. They're on drugs. They made some bad decisions. There they are. Now, I'm not talking about the woman who lost her house, her husband left them or died, left them hanging. Here they are, couldn't pay the rent. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the dope fiends, because that's mostly what it is. It's your fault that your child is in those conditions. I personally think they should take your kid away. But how can you take somebody's kid? Look at what the fucking kids are living in. Squalor, filth, violence. You think this dope fiend of a mom isn't her dealer might be a pervert? Like, let me borrow your daughter. Let me borrow your son. I'll give you a bunch of dope. You think that piece of shit wouldn't do that? Now, if you're 18 and over of sound mind and body, I don't give a shit about you. You can waste your life as long as I don't have to pay for it. As long as you're not infringing on my pursuit of happiness and safety, I don't give a shit. I'm talking about the kids. These kids should be taken away and put in a safe environment. There are more people that want to adopt than there are kids to be adopted. So there's somewhere these kids can go. You get your shit together, you can have your kid back. You don't get your shit together, you don't get your kid back. That's all about the children. Now, I did some research. California gets $376 billion from the government every year. Annually. Now, some of that money should go to eradicating homelessness. You want to spend all these millions of dollars on health care for illegals aged 19 to 26? Fuck them. What about our homeless ages 19 to 26 and all other ages? For those that want help, maybe they got in a vicious cycle, they can't get out of it somehow. Then we should offer help for them. Here's programs, here's jobs. Get some of those illegals out of the field. Put some of those homeless in the fields. Get some of the illegals out of the backs of kitchens and restaurants and hotels. Get the homeless out there. Have them do the work. I just saw a lady almost back into somebody. That's why I looked away. Anyway, have them do it. There's plenty of work out there. Plenty. There's people who have multiple jobs. Put their asses to work if you want to get out of it. If they have mental problems, find a facility for them. Reopen these insane asylums. Get them help. Why are they living on the street? Not only is it fucked for them, it's fucked for those of us who live around them in the conditions. Those places are basically off limits unless you're in that lifestyle. It's filthy. It's disgusting. It smells. It's a health hazard. That's the other side of it. Now, again, if you're of sound mind and body and you're choosing to be out there, you'll be subject to arrest. We can't have you fucking up our cities anymore. We can't have you shitting in the street and leaving your drug paraphernalia for us to step on. That shit needs to stop. This is unnecessary. Number one country in the world. We need to start acting like it. We need to start looking like it. That shit is disgusting. And that's only in the town I live in. Imagine Skid Row in LA. Holy shit. It's like an entire city. Just fucking homeless zombies walking around. Filthy. I came across a story about Baltimore. Some of the schools are closing down, or I'm sorry, not closing down. They're letting the kids out 2 hours early because it's going to be so fucking hot and they don't have air conditioning. Major city, United States of America, children are being let out of school. Their education is being cut by 2 hours because the schools don't have air conditioning. And on the flip side, it's like that in the winter. They don't have enough heat. They don't have proper... How in the fuck are you supposed to sit there and learn when, number one, you're coming to school hungry, and number two, you're cold or too damn hot? Yeah, when they had... there was a situation where the kids couldn't go to school. I think it was extreme weather. They couldn't go to school, so some of those kids weren't eating because that's the only place they can get food is at school. So you're hungry and you're freezing or you're burning up. Now, annually, the state of Maryland gets $71 billion in government assistance. The city of Baltimore gets just over $5 billion a year in federal assistance. But you have children with their educations being cut short by 2 hours because you don't have no fucking air conditioning in their schools. And they don't have proper heat in the wintertime. What is this shit? Where is the money? Elijah, why are kids burning up in school? That's crazy. I'm sure you can find some places in your bloated city's government to allocate some funds for these kids to have a reasonable temperature in their classroom. Why don't you stop some of that sanctuary city bullshit? Why don't you get rid of these crooked politicians, these mayors who can't fucking handle the finances properly? And get some money for these kids to have a good school to go to. At least proper temperature. Can we start there? Can we get the classroom to a manageable 65 degrees year round? Can we make it so in the wintertime, when the kids get into class, they can take their jackets off? I couldn't believe that shit. So Baltimore gets all those billions of dollars every year, but you can't get a good temperature in the classroom for the children to be able to concentrate and learn. And God forbid, better themselves. In California, we're making laws against straws. Yes, straws. But you have children living in the streets. And if you want to be homeless, you want to live that dope fiend life, fine. Your ass needs to be arrested. Get off the fucking streets. If you want help, we should have help for them. In the city I live in, there's not enough resources for the homeless people. My wife went to this place to drop off supplies for the homeless women's shelter. And my wife works with special needs kids. Yeah, Jericho, that's how she fell in love with you. Shut up. And the lady almost begged her to work there because some of the special needs homeless adults kind of invaded her space a little bit, but she's excellent at her job, and she knows how to deal with it. She was very calm and kind with them. The lady was like, do you want a job? She's like, we need 55 people here to help with the influx of clients. 55. Either they're shorthanded or there's no resources for these people. But the city I live in is a sanctuary city. So if you come here illegally, we got you, man. But if you're from here with problems, fuck you. Go live on the street in your own filth and piss. So that's what I think we should do with homeless people. I think we have the resources to help them. They're just being mishandled by these fucking crooks who are in office for decades. Term limits. The president has one. Why not everybody else? That'll light a fire under these people to make a difference. If you want a second term, you have to make a difference. If not, get the fuck out of here. Let's get some new blood, some new ideas. Not these old, bloated, stagnated, complacent pigs that we have in office now. They don't feel an urgency to take care of their constituents. They've been there for 30 years. They ain't worried about shit. They know they're not going anywhere. So they don't have to do anything. They don't have to perform. There's no competition. People, let me wrap up my state-mandated meal period and hop back in this damn rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.